Hey guys, so welcome back to 100 Line Last Defense Academy 2. Let's carry on where we left off. It seems we've landed on the conspiracy route, which means we can't trust anyone. Not even our right-hand woman, Hiroko, who promptly sold us out and tossed us underneath a big fat bus. So that's not going to happen this go-around. This time we're going to trust Kurata and see where things go from there. We've had a couple of choices before this, such as taking the pill and whether we want to join the Anti-Exodus Project group, but we'll revisit them once we've exhausted everything past this particular decision. Something tells me this route's going to boost our ending count by quite a bit, given what we've been offered so far in terms of choices. And the game isn't shy about ending things right here on day, 35? Maybe I should go to Kurata first. She seemed pretty down when I spoke to her yesterday. It's not like her to show her true feelings like that. Why am I the one who's still alive? Kurata. I should have been the one who died. We don't need to fight anymore. And the thing is, once we've completed this route, we can go back even further, and we'll have both Gaku and Kurata alive. And then slowly, but surely, we're gonna go back and trade Kyoshika for either Takamaru or Tsubasa. I'll bet Kurata wants to hear those words more than anything else right now. In her state, she's bound to accept all this craziness about the Anti-Exodus faction, and the brainwashing pretty much at face value. Wow. Okay, yeah, let's capitalize on her traumatized state. A twinge of guilt crept into my heart. Okay, we have a conscience, thank goodness. Not like Sirei, bad-mouthing freaking Gaku after he died. Oh, well, see? He didn't have that many friends. It's all good. Could have been worse, guys. But my personal feelings were of no concern at that moment. After all, I know that the person I thought I could trust is going to betray me. Mind you, she did toss me off the roof at one point. Oh my god, this is the first time I've seen your room properly, right? I'm pretty sure we visited it before, or was it her who visited our room in the romance route where we watched movies? What do you need to talk about so badly that you'd come to my room uninvited? If it's some mundane drivel, I'll tear the skin right off your face. Starting off on a strong note, I see. More important than that, though, I have to come right out and tell her. Kurata, we don't have to fight anymore. We can just run away. Huh? If this is a joke, it's even more lame than I'd expect from you. I'm serious. What? And that's supposed to make me believe you just because you said you're serious? God, please. Please, just hear me out. I looked Kurata directly in the tomato eyes. She, in turn, glared directly back at me. Well, sorry, I'm trying to mind control you. Tell me everything. It's a long story, and so I did. I relayed everything Gato had told me the day before. Kurata didn't exhibit any of the dazed sensation that I'd felt, and if she did, I wouldn't be able to tell anyway because of her mask. It appeared that her brainwashing was only to instill her reason for fighting. Once she finished listening to my explanation, she spoke in a low murmur. It all sounds pretty far-fetched. Yeah, I know. But I believe it. I want you to believe it too, if you can. I want you to trust me, so we can go back to the artificial satellite together. But you must understand, as a proud daughter of the Osazuki clan, I could never run away no matter the... No, it can't be. Kurata's expression clouded over mid-sentence, as if she'd just realized something. That apprehension seemed to stoke my own feelings of guilt, but I pressed ahead all the same. If your pride as an Osazuki is what's making you fight, then maybe that's part of the brainwashing they did to you. Maybe the Osazukis are a pacifist family. The real Osazukis might not be the prominent family that Kurata believed them to be. Maybe they have like 12 kids. Maybe you are related to Gaku. I mean, we are technically all related to Gaku. Or maybe she wasn't even part of the Osazuki family at all. If her obligation to her family was the foundation of what motivated her to keep fighting, any of that was possible. Here, in case you need it. I was told it contains a clue about your brainwashing. This does feel very, espionage-y, you know, handing red envelopes together. This is the conspiracy route. A clue? Yeah. They said a straight explanation would be too shocking. Alright, I'll take a look. Hand it over. Kurata snatched the envelope from my hand. That's not exactly handing it over, but... Anyway. You're gonna open it?
Of course. Naturally, I'm scared, but I would be simply miserable living with the possibility of that which I hold most dear being fake. I can't have that haunting me forever.
Wow, is this like the one route in which Kurata learns the truth? Kind of, in a way? Because she wasn't alive for the other one.
If what's in here can dispel that misery, that's a chance I'll have to take.
You're one tough girl.
Of course. I am an Ozuzuki after all. Do you want to kiss my shoe? I will be until I open this envelope anyway.
With that sharp remark, Kurata opened the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper, which she cast her eyes over intently. Well, what's it say? Is it a doodle? She's thinking a lot. That was like 3 ellipses. What's it say?
It's about my father. It says he died 5 years ago.
Interesting.
Sure enough, I have no memory of this. I had no idea he was dead. In fact, I remember him being in fine health right before I came to this school.
So, your brainwashing was to make you forget about your father's passing?
Yes, if I'm to trust this note, that seems to be the case. But more than that, my father, Kurama Osuzuki, was head of the Osuzuki clan. If he's dead, then the family is no more. I think we can say that my brainwashing was actually about the state of Osuzuki family itself. I'm still an Osuzuki, I'm still a rich heiress, but my family's gone.
Huh. Okay.
The one thing that's kept me fighting up to this point has been my pride as an Osuzuki. And according to this note, all of that was a lie. My father's been dead for 5 years. And I forgot about the fall of the Osuzuki family. No. I was made to forget.
About that envelope. Was there anything else in there besides the stuff about your father's passing?
Well, this piece of paper here is a copy of his death certificate. The cause of his death was cancer, plain and simple.
I see.
This is a bit too disheartening, isn't it? I imagine the clue would be a little less hard-hitting than something like this. Those anti-Exodus simpletons are painfully straightforward. Their lack of consideration is rather off-putting.
And this is her with the mask on. Imagine if she didn't have the tomato on her head. She'd be bawling at my feet right about now. She's trying her best to keep it together. I agree.
Naturally. This doesn't mean that I accept this sheet as the absolute truth.
Good, I'm glad you're practicing skepticism here.
This Gateau you told me about could be making it all up. He could be deceiving you, and in turn deceiving me as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. There's no proof as to whether this brainwashing stuff is true or not. It's really just a matter of choosing who to trust.
I suppose so. Yes, I understand. That's why. That's why I'm choosing to trust you, Takumi.
You are?
I don't like it, but it seems like there's some credibility to what you've told me. If there's a chance we can go home without fighting, I want to hold on to it. I just feel a kind of regret holding me back. If I believe you, and we choose to stop fighting and run away, then the others who died, what was the point of their sacrifice? Their deaths will have been in vain, won't they?
Well, they died so we could learn the truth, inadvertently. Uh-oh, another choice? My goodness. What, are we gonna get like 5 endings today? My goodness. Alright. Were our friends' deaths in vain? Interesting. No. They died so that we could learn that we've been brainwashed and that this war is a fruitless effort. They weren't in vain.
Huh? What do you mean? I mean, you're alive because Gaku died, aren't you?
What? I'm alive?
So because I'm alive, Gaku's death wasn't in vain? The only purpose for his life was to keep me alive, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I meant. Well, it sounds like that, though, doesn't it?
Then what did you mean? What train of thought derailed you into thinking you could tell me their deaths were anything more than senseless tragedies? If you're just saying whatever you think sounds right to fit the mood, I'll end you here and now!
Oh, you're stressing me out. I'm sorry. That wasn't very considerate of me. But even if my logic doesn't hold up, I still don't want to admit that their deaths were pointless. I don't want them to have died in vain.
I feel the same way. I don't want them to have died in vain.
I mean, yeah, they died so we could live.
That's why I've decided to keep fighting.
Huh? Aw, man, I've reversed it all.
That's the only way I can truly honor their memories. All this talk about their sacrifice allowing us to sneak away to the artificial satellite. About how their spirits live on with us. No matter what, I refuse to talk myself into that kind of self-deception. I'll fight, and I'll win. I'll get through these 100 days. Then, and only then, I'll be able to finally say that their deaths weren't in vain. And when I die, I'll be able to look them in the eyes in the afterlife. But...
No ifs, ands, or buts about it!
Oh god, now I'm getting smacked by Kurata. It wasn't as dramatic as when Shoma got smashed. Just a go.
You don't want their lives to have been wasted either, do you, Takumi? Then firm up your resolve and get your ass in gear! Stop spewing this hypocrisy! If you really want their deaths to mean something, running away from their responsibilities is the last thing you should be thinking of.
I mean, she's got a point.
Let's fight! Let's win this war! Let's hold on to what we can!
Huh? Damn, she reverse persuaded me. Yeah, I'll fight. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll avenge Gaku. You're right. I'd failed to persuade Kurata. Yet somehow, it seemed like this wasn't the wrong choice. It felt like we were on the right path after all. Never mind. Huh? Oh, wow. Kato not happy about that.
Dear me, you do have a way with words, don't you?
Do I? Because I failed spectacularly.
But if you're not able to translate them into positive action, they'll never be anything more.
Gosh. Conspiracy route, empty words. Ending 18. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get very far in terms of days in this route. All the endings are really compact. I mean, that makes sense. We only had 3 days to persuade everyone to go back to the artificial satellite. And all these choices back to back to back. Alright, I'm just going to stay quiet this time. No need for empty words when I don't even speak them. Just ... is my future. Utter silence. They weren't in vain. If I had to put that sentiment into words, I could have phrased it that way. It was only because of our friend's sacrifice that we could now escape. In that sense, their deaths definitely had meaning. Or something to that effect. But saying that would be insincere. Dishonest. They didn't die so that we could be free. They died so we could win the war. They fought to win. And died fighting. In a war they were tricked into joining at that. I couldn't find any significance in their deaths. In a sense, their deaths were nothing but the unfortunate result of their being manipulated. That was a much more cold-hearted way of putting it. But it was closer to how I really felt about it. That's my answer.
Don't just stand there with that dopey look on your face. Say something.
Sorry.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't give me some half-assed positivity, at least.
What do you mean?
Part of me wanted to cling on to anything that would gloss over this whole situation. If you had said something carelessly optimistic, it would have been way too tempting to get on board with it. But your silence just now let me know it's okay to feel this despair. I'm glad, even though that's an oxymoron.
I see.
Can you give me 30 minutes to myself?
Oh, God.
Huh?
Sure, but why? You gonna rat on me?
Take a wild guess. I don't want you to see me cry.
Alright. You gonna hop in the shower then?
I'm going to think about how my father is probably dead, and the Osazuki clan with him. And I'll also think about our friends' meaningless deaths while I'm at it.
Right.
When I'm done crying, I'll place my trust in you, and we can start thinking about what we can do from here on. I just need a little time.
I understand. Why couldn't Gato stop Hirako from betraying me? If, he's watching us. Thanks. And was ready to pounce as soon as I failed. I waited for Kurata in my room. Her father's gone, and her friends died in vain. It's all so horrible that no one would want to believe it. But in spite of all that, she still chose to trust me. She really is one tough girl. Just as the 30 minutes were up, Kurata arrived at my room while she scheduled her cry very well.
Pardon the wait.
Are you okay?
Of course, who do you take me for? Though I guess I should probably drop the smug act from here on out.
Well, just take the tomato off your head.
Now that my father's dead, the proud Osazuki name has died with him.
I think you can keep it up if you want. In fact, that would be preferable, so we don't raise suspicion. Even if the Osazuki family is no more, you're still the same proud Kurata Osazuki as before. What?
Nothing. I was simply impressed you were able to offer a few half-decent words of encouragement. I'd braced myself for you to rub salt in my wounds with some insincere inanities.
No, I didn't cross my mind whatsoever. Don't talk as if I were that kind of psychopath. Do I look like Sirei to you?
Anyway, let's think about what we're going to do from here. The escape pod takes off in 2 days, yes? We need to persuade the others to join us without Sirei catching on before then. The more I think about it, the more this seems like a game that's impossible to win.
I've already played a game that's impossible to win. It was not pleasant. Yeah, I hear that. At least, we don't have multiple Atos running around. There's just not enough time. And keeping things out of Sirei's notice is a tall order, too.
If we fail to persuade even one of them, they'll probably go right to Sirei and tell him what we're up to.
Maybe we just zap everyone with the prod and drag them onto this escape pod.
Should we just give up?
Say what?
I'm kidding! Well, half kidding. There's a notable disparity between our goals and the obstacles in our way. Even without Sirei keeping an eye on us, 2 days would be a tight window to convince everyone. To start with, we'll need to do something about Sirei.
What kind of something? Chop him into pieces and toss him into a bin a couple miles away?
Who knows? The only thing that comes to mind is smashing him to pieces.
Huh?
Huh?
Smash him to pieces. It's not an option, right?
I suppose so. Yes, that might work. At first I thought it would be too dangerous, not to mention against the rules. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And Sirei's rules are a bunch of hogwash anyway.
If we destroy him before we persuade the others, we won't need to worry about anyone blowing our cover if we fail to convince them. Though, trying to convince them after we've killed Sirei is probably going to be even tougher, because they'll be wary of us. We already committed violence. We can even bring anyone we don't convince to the artificial satellite by force if we have to.
It's more than satisfactory. So what do we do? The clock's ticking. We need to act fast. I'm more than fine with taking him out, but I'll leave the final choice to you.
Well, in that case, I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. But I could be wrong. I mean, wouldn't Gato have told us to destroy Sirei if he thought it was gonna help? He specifically said do this without him being suspicious. So we're just gonna have to try and be incognito about it. No. Plus, like I said, if we destroy Sirei, then try to convince people, they're gonna be like, whoa, okay, well, you destroyed Sirei. That automatically makes me wary of you. No. I think that's a little too savage.
Nothing can be too savage when it comes to someone who's willing to brainwash people.
I know. But I don't want to give up on the possibility of a more peaceful approach. I just feel like destroying Sirei to stop fighting would come to no good in the end.
You're going to start spouting that soft-hearted drivel now?
Sorry.
I was impressed with you before, and now you're just losing marks. That said, It is true that ending things peacefully would be our best option. Alright, we'll come up with another solution. Let's give it some more thought.
Alright, brainstorming sesh. It's still morning, so that's good. We haven't been thinking for very long. Nothing occurred to either of us. Uh-oh. Is this a dead end?
We've got nothing.
Just let me give it a little more thought. I still didn't want to commit to something as dangerous as destroying Sirei. Man, my brain is cooking. We thought for so long that the escape pod took off without us.
You still haven't thought of anything, have you?
I told you we're not destroying Sirei.
Fine. Do as you please.
With those parting words, Kotaro left the room. Gee, thanks. What a great team we are. Or so I thought. I looked to see Kotaro standing stock still in the open doorway. What happened? I believe I should be the one asking you two that. Sirei! Hey, buddy! Well, whatever the case may be, it doesn't change what I need to do. I'm making all the wrong choices tonight. 19 out of ideas. Just like that, we've got 25 endings. We're a quarter of the way through the game, guys. I was worried because we had such a small amount. I didn't realize we're going to rack them up real quick here. Well, I know what's going to happen when I go back to the previous choices that we got past. We're just going to get tased. Truly a shocking episode, this one. Sorry, Sirei, you gotta go. Standing right outside my door. How dare you? At least hide under my bed. Alright, let's destroy Sirei. I don't think we have any other choice.
Fine by me. It's just the kind of shake-up this place could use.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it got shaken up before. Pretty badly.
But destroying him won't be a simple matter. Maybe we should take a page out of that lunatic Ato's book. If I recall correctly, he actually managed it in your last timeline, didn't he? He asked to speak with Sirei alone while the rest of us were sleeping, under the guise of learning how to use Hemoanima. And once he did transform, he immediately used his class weapon to destroy Sirei.
Yeah, and he pulled it off in my previous 100 days. Sirei did blow Ato up when he made his move, but the Revival-matic brought him right back to life. I mean, Ato also attempted to kill him in this iteration, but failed because of our intervention, so I'm sure Sirei's gonna have his guard up, actually. He showed up afterwards, feigning ignorance about the whole incident.
Of course, we'll need to come up with some sort of setup. We'll only get one shot at this.
The problem is, what should that setup be? Sirei's going to be much more cautious of us calling on him now that he was back when Ato did. Not to mention, like, he had to refresh our brainwashing, you know? Who is it?
It's me, Nigu. There's something I'd like to talk with you about. May I come in?
And we're gonna get another choice. Open the door, yes or no. He said Nigu, but should we assume it's really Goto? Nigu can't have come back somehow, can he? What color's the envelope?
Oh, what's this now? Some manner of password? Some well-known song lyrics, perhaps?
A chill ran down my spine. Good thinking, Takumi. For whatever reason, Nigu's original personality seemed to have reasserted itself. Or it's like Sirei mimicking Nigu's voice.
Sorry, just my little joke.
Huh?
The envelope is red, and so is the pill.
Okay.
Hey!
So not funny.
Well then, pardon the intrusion. Oh, Kurata Suzuki. Does this mean...
Yeah. I want her over to our side. We were just planning how we were going to persuade the others to get on board as well.
So you're Gato. So it's your fault that my brain is at its boiling point right now. Oh my. Sorry. I know all too well that I'm asking the impossible.
Let's put that aside. You had something you wanted to talk about?
Actually, I only mentioned that as an excuse to come visit you as Nigu. It's entirely possible that someone could have seen me come here after all. What I really wanted was to come and check on how your efforts were going. I assume Kurata is the only one you managed to persuade so far?
I'm only one man, Goto. Okay, I can only be in so many places at once. Yeah, so far at least. But what are you doing here? You said you'd be at Second to Last Defense Academy running maintenance on the escape pod. That should be plenty to keep you busy. Can't you leave the persuading to me? Or is the maintenance finished already?
Oh, I must not have told you. The escape pod maintenance is all performed remotely. So I'll be here at the school the whole time until departure. By the way, I'm doing maintenance at this very moment. I'll most certainly have to work up until the very last minute to get it done.
Okay.
Back to the subject of persuading everyone. Do you think you can do it in a day or two?
No. At least not if we do everything above board.
Above board?
Yeah. So we figured destroying Sirei might make the job more feasible.
You'll destroy him?
Convincing everyone without him noticing will be difficult. No, frankly, it'll be straight up impossible. That being the case, we thought it might be best to take Sirei out of the equation first.
I see. So that's your move. It's such a clever strategy, I'm not sure why I didn't think of it before.
Really? So it was on the table, after all.
Oh, hey! I just thought of something brilliant.
Huh?
Something brilliant. To destroy Sirei, we need to call him to some place that's deserted at that time. And you're the perfect lump of metal for the job. You can do it for us, Goto. If you tell him after there's an emergency sometime after lights out and ask him to come with you, we'll be able to trap him without any fear of raising suspicion.
It's not a bad idea. Or we could just get Goto to kill him. Kurata's plan certainly sounded like the most natural approach. Will you do it?
Of course. It should really be me taking care of everything, so I'll do whatever I can to help. I swear by the name of the anti-Exodus faction, I'll make this operation a success.
Okay. See how this goes. Time to assassinate our CO.
At ease, soldiers.
Oh yeah. I'll be at ease. That night I felt strangely conflicted. I was extremely anxious about our plan, and yet it didn't feel real. We were actually going to destroy Sirei. We'd figured out the plan step by step. Goto, pretending to be Nigu, would soon lead Sirei here. He'd tell him that something crazy had happened in the cafeteria and to come quickly. When he got here, I would be waiting for him. I'd be in my class armor and ready to attack. Kurata would be on standby in an empty classroom nearby, ready to deal with any unforeseen developments. Goto would give the signal to attack. Being the closest to Sirei, it would be easiest for him to gauge when he let his guard down. Seemed like the perfect plan. But as we all know in storytelling, if you describe the perfect plan, it can't go according to that perfect plan. Other than the fact that I didn't really want to destroy Sirei, but I'd have to set those feelings aside. The door opened. So what the heck's going on in here? You said there was some emergency in the cafeteria.
Oh, yes, sir. We have to deal with it at this very minute, or it will get out completely of hand.
Is that how it sounds like? Really? Because I don't see anything here to deal with. Are you sure you didn't just hear some bugs skittering around or something equally pointless?
Aye.
Suddenly, Goto looked my way. His eyes met mine from my hiding place in the shadows. Now, go. And on Goto's mark. Oh god, another decision. I'm gonna get zapped. I know I am. I'm gonna cock this up completely. That's what happens. I get too nervous and I squander my advantage. Destroy Sirei? Yes, we're committed now. If we hesitate, we die. Swing. Chop him to bits. I'm sorry! What the? I wondered if it was like this for Eito as well. It was incredibly easy, cutting Sirei in half. But in the next instant... Bye. A mechanical sound rang out from my chest. I blacked out on the spot, alongside a fit of intense pain. Day 36. We made it to the next day.
Come on, just how long are you going to sleep? Get up already!
Ugh. I woke up to Kurata's voice and slowly realized I was back in my room. Did it work?
It sure did. You did splendidly. You split Sirei clean in two. Then he activated the bomb in your chest and blew you to bits. The drone carried the pieces to the infirmary, and once you were reassembled, I brought you back here. You spent the night out cold, and now here we are.
Wouldn't my, guts and blood be splattered all over the walls?
I've already cleaned up the mess that your blood and Sirei's remains left behind, of course.
Oh, well, there's my question answered. Thanks, I appreciate it.
But the next step is going to be crucial. Do you remember our plan for today?
Yeah. We're going to meet up with the rest of the team in the cafeteria and try to persuade them to join us. Now that Sirei was out of the picture, there wasn't any need to sneak around and talk to them one by one.
I already told the others to meet us in the cafeteria at noon. It's almost that time now. We should get going.
I just had to hope it would all work out. And yet, that hope was a frightfully cold and detached one. Alright. Let's see who's on board. When Kurata and I arrived at the cafeteria, everyone except Sirei, Gato, and Eita was there. What the hell, you two? You got some balls calling us all here and then showing up last. Sorry. Just trying to make a dramatic entrance.
Never mind that. Just hurry up and tell us what you wanted to talk to us about.
Judging from that timid expression of yours, Mr. Sumino, it's something serious.
Not to mention that it's so rare for you to be the one to reach out to us, Kurata. Right? I could understand if it was Takumi making the call. I simply took a little interest in how my slaves were doing, nothing more.
Who are you calling slaves?
Oh, wait. Where are Sirei and Nigu? You must have called them here too, right? Nigu is busy with another task, so he's been excused. As for Sirei...
Kurata glanced my way. Why are you making me... I killed him. The least you could do was explain to everyone why. I took that as my signal to speak. Sirei's not coming. He won't be joining us for the rest of his life. Or rather, he can't.
He can't?
He can't even join himself together, let alone join this meeting.
Is he out on an excursion somewhere?
I answered honestly. Last night I tricked Sirei into meeting me and destroyed him, so this is gonna go splendidly when it comes to persuading you guys. Just like Eito did in my previous timeline. Say what?
You destroyed him?
I understand it must be hard to believe, but it's the truth.
If you like, I can show you his remains later.
And you? Are you an accomplice to this, Kurata?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean you destroyed him? Takumi, Kurata, have you gone crazy? Are you like Eito now? You must have had some reason, right?
Well, I told everyone the events of the past 3 days, not holding anything back. Only Hirako noted that her head was in a daze like mine had been. When I offered her one of the pills, she took it without hesitation. And lastly, here. Each member of the team had their own brainwashing concerning their reasons for fighting. I handed them all the envelopes with the clues about those reasons. All except Ava, of course. Sorry. You want to just hold a napkin instead, so you feel involved? Damn it, my fat fingers! We already knew all about her brainwashing after all. Everyone else reacted to the envelopes in different ways.
I don't think I'll look at mine. I'll pass as well.
I ain't looking either. Feels like I won't be me anymore if I do. Some chose not to look at their envelopes, same as me.
No, it can't be true.
We needn't read more, Kako. But this can't be. It has to be a lie. I'm not the Dark Prince of the Underworld, but I'm an angel?
That's right. I mean, no matter how awful of an existence mine is guaranteed to be, this can't be part of it.
Some opened their envelopes and were shocked at the contents.
I just don't know what to think of this. It's so shocking. It actually makes me feel less queasy.
So what, your vomiting was just a placebo thing? To think there'd come a day when my soul would be denied like this.
This isn't a worked shoot, is it?
No, sorry, it's not a pipe bomb. And there were those who opened the envelope, but were at a loss for how unreal it seemed. Each had their own reactions, but they were all equally confused. I'm sure you all have different thoughts on this. Some of you might not even accept it, but I'm asking you to trust me. I want you to believe what I'm telling you, so we can all escape together. The tense silence held like a sheet of thin ice.
Sorry, but...
Nozomi began to speak, softly treading upon that thin ice and forming the first cracks. She came down here to fight for humanity, for her mother.
I'm still only half convinced.
You haven't opened your envelope, Nozomi. If you're half convinced, read it.
It sounds so impossible that my reason for fighting was implanted in my mind. I still think it's worth believing in.
I mean, Exhibit A over there, Ava, is proof that brainwashing has been going on.
The only way things can make sense is if I trust that what I know is real. Even so, even if my reason for fighting is a lie, I don't know if that means I should give up. If we give up now, wouldn't everything we've done here become totally meaningless?
The good news is, it's only day 36. We haven't committed fully to this, right? It's still early days.
The fear, the bravery, the battles, how we've learned to care for one another. The sadness at losing our friends. We buried them in graves outside. Nozomi, I don't want all that to be in vain. I can't bear to think that there was no point to our time here.
It was the same as when I'd persuaded Karada. Not wanting all our fighting to be pointless. Not wanting to think all that we'd suffered through had been for nothing. I understand Nozomi's feelings painfully well. All we can really do is understand that it's sunk costs now. We can avoid further losses if we give up fighting here. But because I understood, I knew exactly what to say. Everything we did. Oh no. Another decision? Who's gonna zap me this time? Is Nozomi gonna pull out her hand taser and plug it into my neck? Everything we did. Just keep silent. Even though he said he knew exactly what to say. Alright. Let's keep mum about it. I knew that I should tell everyone that it had been pointless, but I couldn't say anything. Because I understood how they felt after fighting all this time. On top of that, I didn't want to believe that it was all pointless either.
You're staying quiet because you feel the same way, right, Takumi? You don't really want to accept that your reason for fighting is a lie and give up, do you?
That's not... I've been through serial battles, okay? I've fought my fair share.
No, I know that's it. Otherwise your face wouldn't look so pained this whole time. You didn't want to expose us to such a painful truth. But it was something you had to tell us all the same. That's why it's hurting you so much, isn't it? It's not like... I caught the lie before I could finish it. The lie about it not hurting. About doing what I did or didn't want to do. Because, if I was being honest, I didn't want to give up the fight, even now. Whether or not all these days up until now meant anything is something we have to decide for ourselves. I think if we want it to mean something, we should keep fighting. It was only when Nozomi spelled it out like that I first realized the truth. Those were the words I had wanted to say all along. We should keep fighting. We don't have to run away. Alright, well. Kato's on his way. I felt like a light was finally shining on the path I should walk. I didn't want to give up.
Oh dear. I tried so hard to tell you not to fight. Why wouldn't you listen? How unfortunate. I didn't want to be the one doing the killing, but...
We all blew up. Just like that. Conspiracy root. Liar. Oh, man. It's like a minefield out here, man. Jeez. But, like, quick cutoffs. I guess they have to make up for the fact that we're not going to reach day 100, so we're just packing everything right here. Alright, let's be pessimistic. Everything so far was a load of shit. All just pointless drivel. So, let's reset. Get the hell out of here. Alright, this what you want to hear? It was pointless. Okay, let's be despaired together. That's right. It was all pointless.
But that... whether or not it meant anything is something only we can decide.
Well, in that case, I don't want it to mean anything.
My life, our lives, aren't lived for the sake of giving meaning to the past. It may be sad, and even unbearable at times, but we should abandon the past for the sake of our future.
It's all a sunk cost. It's already happened. We can't get it back. We can't let it affect our decision going forward.
When you put it that way...
Still, I won't force you. If any of you don't believe me, or if you still want to stay at this school and fight, that's fine too. Do whatever you feel is right. I went on to share the schedule that Goto had prepared beforehand with everyone. Anyone who wants to escape with me, meet at the parking lot at 7 a.m. tomorrow. We'll take the school bus to Second to Last Defense Academy. Apparently, there's an escape pod there.
I will simply do as I am ordered.
I don't know if you can come. After a few seconds of silence, Ava, the only one among us with a different perspective, spoke up and looked around. Come on, it'll be fun. Nice little road trip. And then a space shuttle trip. Why are y'all looking at me like that? God, well, everyone's just ruminating in thought. Well, if anyone wanted a collection of incoherent grunts from each member of the cast, clip this. Unfortunately, we're missing, like, a few people. No one spoke up after her. But I could tell that not a single one of them wasn't going to show up tomorrow. I mean, peer pressure, right? You don't want to stay and fight when it's just like 3 of you. I didn't have any solid basis for that belief, but I felt it in my gut. The gloomy atmosphere of despair that dominated the cafeteria was all the proof I needed. That's what you get for saying everything was pointless, after all. Okay. I was the first to leave the cafeteria and escape to my room. Why are we playing the nighttime music in the morning? No one spoke up to stop me or wanted to hear more details. I somehow felt extremely exhausted, despite the fact that I did practically nothing and only spoke words that I'd already planned to say. I collapsed onto my bed as if my battery was completely spent, and just as I was about to let my consciousness slip away. God damn it! Who is it?
It's me, Goto. I'm coming in. I heard from Kurara that you were able to thoroughly convince everyone. Thank you, truly. I'm glad I could count on you.
You were just watching, just admit it. You don't need to say you heard it through the grapevine. How about on your side? Is the escape pod maintenance going to be finished in time? A cliche twist like the pod breaking down just as we're about to take off is something I could do without.
You needn't worry about that. Leave it all to me. Once you get there, literally all you have to do is push a button to launch. Now we simply have to ride out the rest of the time peacefully until tomorrow. And by the way, about Ava, I'll undo her brainwashing and leave her here on the planet, if that's alright with you.
Oh, you know what? That's acceptable, yes.
Of course, I'll be sure to do it right, so she won't become an issue down the line.
Yeah, that's not a problem. She was originally an enemy, and yet, it wouldn't have felt right leaving her brainwashed like that. Yeah, I know. There may not have been any reason to bring her to the artificial satellite, but that didn't mean we needed to kill her. Then this really brings it all to the finish line. We've brought the finish line forward by about 64 days. I'm really relieved. I thought for sure you'd bring up some more stuff I needed to do.
Well, about that, there's a flat tire on the bus.
Oh no. Got a bad feeling about this.
I I do have one more request to ask of you, but I promise this will be the last one. Have fun on your last day.
I'd love it if it was that. Let's hear it.
When you get to the artificial satellite, I'll need to apologize to all of you. I'm sure you'll be very angry when you hear what I've done, but I hope you'll allow me to properly apologize all the same.
What have you done? That depends. What do you want to apologize for?
First and foremost, I should apologize to you personally, Takumi. You see, everything in those red envelopes was a lie.
Lovely. I mean, we knew that. But Takumi didn't. What?
For example, the death certificate Kurata found in her envelope. Her father isn't really dead. Well, that is to say, he might be dead, but I don't actually know. I made the whole thing up.
Well, her father is downstairs. Sorry, no, up. No, I mean, technically downstairs. We're on the roof. Wait a second. You said you saw the brainwashing logs on the machine in the infirmary.
Yes, I did in fact see them. From what I could analyze, the most recent processes were to make the recipients more obedient to Sirei. That was the nature of what was done to your team. Some of you, at least. And you were brainwashed, that much is certain. The red pill taking effect is proof of that. But everything else I told you before, your reasons for fighting, being distorted by the brainwashing, that was all a fabrication. All lies.
Well, now I'm curious what my red envelope says, if it's not true.
I created them based on the information I found in your profiles.
Why would you do that?
To give some credibility to what I told you. To drive you all deep into despair so you would want to stop fighting.
I didn't know whether what I was feeling was shock or outrage.
But on the other hand, everything else I told you was completely true. The memory experiments being conducted at Kamakura General Hospital, and this school being filled with technology based on that research. That's all undeniable fact. I'm sorry for tricking you, I really am, but I did it for your own good.
How about you let us come to the conclusion ourselves by telling us the truth, instead of trying to manipulate us? The guilt from lying to me must have really gotten to Goto. He went on, talking more than he ever had before. What choices did I have before me? 1. Believe what Goto is saying and forgive him. 2. Believe what Goto is saying, but don't forgive him. 3. Don't believe what Goto is saying. 4. Give in to anger and destroy Goto. 5. Give up on escaping to the artificial satellite. Other than that... But what do those options matter at this point? It's fine. I'd already come this far. All I could do now was believe and forgive Goto. Doing that, and returning to the artificial satellite, was the only way my choices up to this point would finally pay off. Ooh. You got some guts telling me the truth before we've actually flown up to the satellite, but I suppose everything's in place, where you can stop us at a moment's notice.
Up and at 'em, troop!
Oh, we're gonna be up and at 'em, alright. Up out of this planet. Just silence. Everyone's packed up and ready to go. No one's anywhere. But the garage. No, that's empty too. We're on the road. Poor Shion's gonna be like, "What? Hey guys, I'm here at the cafeteria." What? Where'd everyone go? Oh my god, was it me? Do I smell? There we go. Just like that. Okay. Conspiracy route, lambs to the slaughter. So that's it then. That's the ultimate end of the conspiracy route. I see. Okay, well, I guess it's time to go back and clean up, but I think we know exactly what's going to happen at the end of each of these. Let's start with attempting to destroy Sirei and deciding not to at the very end, I suppose. Hesitation kills, and in this instance, I think it is going to have us meet our maker a little earlier than anticipated. Why? I'd committed to this plan, so I had to go through with it. I should have made up my mind long time ago, but I was frozen. Unsure if this was really the right thing to do. Oh, what are you doing here, Sumino? Damn.
Wait, you've got the wrong idea. We weren't doing anything shady or underhanded. This is a flash mob. Yes, that's it. Right, a flash mob. Surprise.
Fine, if that's all it is.
Saved.
You seriously think I'd buy that?
Why would you try to get the jump on your beloved commanding officer like this?
Why am I hearing boss music?
I have no idea what's going on here. But it's all too clear you two are in too deep to turn back.
Should have just stabbed him.
In which case, I'll gladly throw myself body and soul into taking you on.
Or you could just blow me up. That sharp retort from Sirei was the last thing I remember. From there, my memories completely and utterly faded clean away. Well, at least we didn't get tased. Faltering Resolve is ending 20. Help the anti-Exodus faction? Nah, I'm good, thank you. I've got too much bloodlust in these veins. I need to kill. I can't help you.
What? Why not? Don't you believe me?
No, it makes sense. And normally I would believe you.
Then why?
I want to believe all this meant something. I want to believe Sirei has been supporting us all this time, and that my reason for fighting hasn't just been one big mistake. Well, thank you. Kato gave a condescending laugh and a golf clap before speaking.
You pass. The anti-Exodus faction, the brainwashing, it was all a complete lie. I told you about the opposition forces to test your loyalty, Mr. Sumino. You see, there's still a chance that there's a spy hidden among the Special Defense Unit.
Seriously? That's all this was? Oh, shit, man. Give me my gold star and let me get to sleep. I was less than amused about being tested like this. Well, glad it was all a lie at least, just like the cake. Truly glad, in fact. The last thing I ever saw.
Are you really that gullible?
Boys are so slow on the uptake.
I tried. Just a test. Ending 16. Last but certainly not least, in a manner of speaking, avoid taking the red pill. We'll pull a Hideko this time around. Pretend to swallow it, or just chuck it in the bin immediately. Let's find out how Takumi wants to handle this one. I'll pass. I don't accept candy from strangers. For all you have to say about Sirei, you're pretty sketchy yourself. And there's no telling what that pill will actually do to me if I take it. Those are pretty natural suspicions, don't you think?
Well, your argument is quite sound. It's exceedingly right-minded and super-duper reasonable. But sound arguments won't change the world around you, and I am not reasonable in the slightest.
We're gonna get the same CG? Yep.
Don't think less of me for this. But if you don't have any intention of leaving the Pro faction, then I can't let you live.
Well, that's a bit harsh.
If you're going to blame anything, blame the Pro faction's cunning. And your own foolishness.
Well, luckily I wasn't a fool the first go-around. Ending 15, a fair point. That is all the conspiracy routes done, and I think by a mile. By an absolute country mile and a half. This is the weakest route by far. And it's unbelievable that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 endings out of this. Honestly. I remember Kodaka saying, you know, like, there's 100 endings, and, you know, they're all viable endings, and, you know, the canon ending is whatever one you like. Imagine if you're like, well, you know, I like this canon ending the best, where we tried to persuade Hiriko and we failed, and then that was it. Imagine that. Like, I feel like this route could use some serious overhauling or retooling. I think they gave us way too many options that they didn't need to. Like, take the red pill. Like, normally you'd be like, okay, cool. Like, it's an option. Like, we can control our destiny if we're taking a red pill or don't. But like in other routes, I think, you know, we had the option to choose something, and then Takumi just made the decision for us. And there was no need for a branching path, right? So we can cut this one out, cut this out, and we, like, fully flesh out more so this anti-Exodus faction. Maybe they come up in another route, I don't know. But in this particular one, like, and then we just go on a bus and leave. Like, we don't find out anything else about this anti-Exodus faction. We don't see what happens with Shion, just, like, abandoned at the school. Sirei's dead, and everyone's gone. Like, what happened with Eito as well? Like, oh, man. Yeah. I think I'm ready to move on from this one. I won't lie. Yeah, this was not it. Anyway, next time. Let Hideko destroy Nigu? We're gonna stop her. Okay. I mean, letting it happen led to Nigu not dying and getting taken over by Goto in a certain route, so... yeah, we'll see what happens when we stop her. Will the opposite happen and Nigu actually gets self-destructed? Guess we'll find out.